Do you think the price of silver is manipulated? If it is indeed manipulated, we could be in for a price explosion in silver when physical demand overwhelms the electronic markets. By the end of this video, you will have a clearer understanding if that is indeed the case. We're not accusing anybody of any manipulation or anything like that now, are we? Guys, I've put together a ton of data for you. I think it puts together a very compelling case. You decide for yourself. Let's get started right now. There's an astounding 28 claims for each one single ounce of silver traded on the COMEX. That's the big electronic exchange where the price of silver is determined, and things are getting very, very dicey over there. What are you doing down here in the basement with me? Hey, it's my honor you, yes you, there's one you decided to join me. I'll give you a new piece of valuable content every day focused on silver and gold. Most importantly, I'll offer you some camaraderie, some friendship. I hope you decide to come back and join me. Please give this video a thumbs up. That really helps. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. Turn on notifications. That way you can come back and be here with me. I want to read you some excellent data points from an article from Shift Gold, which gives us an indication of just where they stand right now, and it's getting very scary. It says the bleed of metal from the COMEX vaults has resumed, and silver inventories have hit record lows with 28 paper claims for each ounce of physical silver. Silver has also seen outflows continue from the vaults. The bleed out in registered, and that's the actual metal they have that they can deliver on contracts, has continued unabated during that time. Registered supplies are now at the lowest levels since 2016. The daily activity in silver has been a bit more volatile, with eligible continues to move up and down, but registered, that's the key part. That's what can be delivered on the contract. Activity is mostly sporadic outflows. Silver, registered silver, saw a big move out over the last month, dropping 2.6 million ounces and bringing total registered to 27 million ounces. Eligible silver increased by 2.5 million ounces. We don't really care about that. Registered silver has fallen, listen to this, guys, 81% over the last 3 years. Again, that's the metal that can actually be used to deliver on those contracts. And remember, there's 28 contracts on each 1 ounce of silver. Silver is in a different boat as registered supplies continue to get depleted. Again, that's the metal that can be used to deliver on the actual contracts. The ratio now sits at 10%, which is the lowest on record. That means of all the silver they have at the COMEX, only 10% of it, right? Only 10% can be used to deliver on physical contracts, and that is the lowest all-time record low. And what do you think we see if we just look at registered metal? I'm going to pull up a chart of that for you right now. Quote, the drawdown over the last few years is very clear in this chart. There was then a pause from November to February before a slight uptick. That uptick has now been more than reversed, bringing the total registered supply to 27.1 million ounces. This was as of June 21st. Coverage in the registered silver is far worse than gold and has reached a new high for the move. There are now 28 paper ounces for each physical ounce of silver available for delivery at the COMEX. This means if 3.5% of paper contracts stand for delivery, the COMEX will not have enough silver to meet demand. If 3.5% of the contracts say, we want you to fulfill your contractual obligation and deliver that silver to us, right? Remember that shrinking supply of registered we just covered? Only 3.5% of the people of the companies have to say, we want the silver, and the COMEX is broken. Whoever's draining the COMEX is not trying to make a scene. They are slowly but surely scooping up physical metal without causing a scene or pushing up prices. We know that's the case. As the drainage in supplies continues, the price will be forced to respond. That's a good thing. Silver registered supplies are down over 80% in 3 years. At the current pace, all supplies will be exhausted by the end of the year or the beginning of next year at the latest. When the recession sets in, there could be a flight into safety with people naturally wanting physical metals. This will be a game changer, like a game of musical chairs where there are 30 people per chair. It won't be pretty because, again, guys, there's almost 30 people who think they own the 1 ounce of silver that's being held at the COMEX. When they say, we want our silver, we want our silver, that's like 30 people trying to fight for 1 chair. But it gets even more interesting. I've got more for you, okay? I want to talk about manipulation from a perspective of how it happens when we see these big price decreases in silver. And I think this is fascinating and something we need to consider. Oftentimes, silver will go down 3 or 4%, and it will happen in the matter of minutes, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. What's crazy about that is during those little periods where silver, just like a waterfall, goes crashing down, the volume, the number of ounces traded on a notional level when that occurs is often like 10, 20, 30% of what is the actual physical output from the mining industry for the whole year. Think about that. It's mind-blowing. It's electronic. It smells like possibly a little bit of manipulation. Let's talk about SLV, the big silver ETF here in the United States. There are people who are much more expert on this than I, and I won't drag you into the weeds, but it's kind of been proven that SLV maybe doesn't actually own all the physical silver that it represents to the market through their ETF. Again, there's a ton of information out there you can investigate on your own, but people say stay away from the SLV. Where did BlackRock go? The biggest institutional investor in the world, right? When they wanted to buy some physical silver, they didn't go to the SLV. No, they went to the PSLV, Sprott's Physical Silver Asset Trust out of Canada, because they actually own the physical silver. And it's like $180 million worth of physical that was bought by BlackRock. Remember, the world's biggest institutional investor, they put the word institution into institutional. Look, in my opinion, if you want to own silver, you got to have it. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. That's just my opinion. I don't own any electronic silver. I own some gold mining stocks, but when it comes to physical, you want to get it. Go to your local coin shop, buy it from a trusted online retailer, but hold that metal. There's an added bonus to that as well. Silver is beautiful, and there's nothing like holding a silver 1 ounce coin in your own hand. So what do you think? When I look at the big picture, when I look at what's going on the COMEX, 28 claims on each 1 ounce of silver. When I look at the other facts that to me indicate that there's some manipulation, there's some smoke and mirrors, if I might call it that, within the silver market, I think silver is manipulated. But you can only manipulate for so long. You can only fight gravity. You can only go against Mother Nature for so long. Eventually, she wins out. And that will be the case with silver. Our value will be recognized in the future. I know it's a bumpy road. I'm with you on it. It's not always fun. But when I take a look at what's going on, the big picture, I feel safe. I feel secure. I'd rather own some silver than a bunch of paper money. Unicorn fart dust. Have a great day. Go watch a live stream, and I'll see you soon.